Since human beings are born, they have a certain attraction for the unknown. Fear and terror are like two sides of the same coin. They produce rejection and attraction. If they only produced rejection, horror movies would not be as successful as they are. Neither would supernatural books and stories. Let's see 7 places in the world that amply meet these requirements. The Island of the Dolls, Mexico. In the canals of Xochimilco, in the heart of Mexico City, is this disturbing island, from whose trees hang sinister dolls. Legend has it that Julian, who was the watchman of the Isla de las Muñecas, discovered the body of a little girl on the shore of the lake. So desperate he did everything possible to save her life. However, the little girl died for unknown reasons. After what happened, the watchman assured that the spirit of the girl had possessed one of the dolls. To protect himself, he began to hang dolls of all types and sizes around the lake located in Xochimilco. Island of the Dolls. Chapel of the Bones, Portugal. The walls of the Chapel of the Bones and the 8 pillars that constitute it are covered with human bones and skulls, carefully placed, joined by cement. When approaching the entrance, the inscription "We, the bones that are here, are waiting for you." And there are certainly no bones to welcome you. It is estimated that up to 5,000 skeletons were necessary to cover the walls and the 8 columns of this small but mighty chapel. Legends speak of disappearances, inexplicable noises and apparitions. It wouldn't be surprising in a place like this, would it? Morzo, Italy. Morzo is a small town of barely 2,000 inhabitants that has one of the most disconcerting places in Italy. It is the Park of the Monsters, an area where grotesque sculptures of obscure meaning abound. Its promoter was the aristocrat Pier Francesco Orsini, an accursed figure of the Renaissance if ever there was one. It is said that he was a deformed and hunchbacked man who dedicated his life to esoteric lucubrations and magic. Many people attracted by the occult go to this place to increase their perception and clairvoyance. Belche, Spain. Belche is terrifying for a reason that is very obvious: the destruction caused by the wars. This Aragonese town was completely devastated in one of the fierce battles that took place in the region during the Civil War. Subsequently, it was decided to leave Belche in ruins as a memorial and to build Belche Nuevo nearby. Visiting these ruins is always an overwhelming experience, especially because we can walk through streets of collapsed buildings, cross churches with collapsed vaults and, if you pay attention, it is said that someone receptive, you can hear the voices of the dead of various battles. Some even warn that these spirits ask the living to send messages to their loved ones, since they cannot leave the place. Mummy of Little Zelika, Hungary. Zelika was the son of the Hungarian scientist and embalmer Lajos Arany, a gentleman specialist in performing autopsies who, by all accounts, went on to create as many as 3,500 anatomical specimens. When his young son died, his grief was so great that he embalmed him. Some stories claim that he kept him behind a glass case in his office for most of his life. Be that as it may, contemplating this infant mummy can be a terrifying experience. If you are up for it, you can see Zelika at the Museum of Natural History in Budapest. Glamis Castle, Scotland. Glamis. Noises, banging, apparitions, sinister legends. Glamis Castle is one of the many haunted castles in Scotland. It is in the Strathmore Valley, in the east of the country, in the county of Argyll, and the first time this building was heard of was around the 14th century. The mother of the Queen of England, Elizabeth, spent her childhood in this castle, which is a powerhouse of legends, one more brutal than the other. It is said that a deformed child could have been locked in one of the rooms, that in each generation of the owner family a vampire is born, that the spirit of Count Beardy hides in the courtyard of the castle. We don't really know if all these legends are true, or none of them. But, surely it is a great place to write about the genre. Motivation will not be lacking. And who knows, maybe they will find some reality. But do you want to? Be careful what you wish for, it may become reality. Musham Castle, Austria. Musham Castle, in Ueternberg. It is said that there were many executions of witches, and there are those who also claim that a werewolf resided in it. Musham Castle is a museum of horrors that also has ghosts. Several writers of the fiction/terror genre visit the place in search of inspiration. This does not seem far-fetched, given the antecedents. In any case, more than a few have reported seeing things moved without anyone having moved them, and similar events. They admit that they may have been suggestible because of the location, but after all, what seems real to us at night, we often don't want to admit in the daytime. If you liked it, subscribe and click like.